Do people in Canada have cable? Like other people?
We keep this up in the playoffs. I don't care.
And at Chili's. Is it a Chili's? At Kyle's?
Achilles.
Finally.
You don't know that?
Fuck you! Get this guy the fuck out of here!
Alright, well, coming in at number 5, I got Anthony Stolarz.
Now! Jets are winning the cup!
Thank you for watching and listening. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the NordCast. It is Friday, November 21st, 2025. I am your host here, Nordic97, joined with Carter. Carter, how we doing?
Doing pretty well. I don't understand what is up with us and the NordCast jinx lately, but I swear we're probably cursed.
What did we do?
What was it that it was last week? Some team was either hot or cold, and then it got snapped. Was it the Bruins?
The Bruins was one.
Yeah.
The Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much all we talked about. Yeah, last week was a short episode.
Yeah.
So.
But again, we're still cursed. Two teams we talked about pretty well, and cursed. So,
you know. I mean, they're still good, so it's fine. They're still fine. So, Yeah. Okay, we got a good amount to talk about here. Some news around the league to start off. First off, Adrian Kempe has re-signed with the Los Angeles Kings. That is another big free agent forward taken off the market. 8 years, $10.625 million. Kempe has been really good for the LA Kings. I think he's been a criminally underrated player during his entire tenure there. Reminder, his previous contract with LA was at just $5.5 million. And during those 5 years, he has scored 35 goals, 41 goals, 28 goals, 35 goals, and so far this year, 6 goals. All with $5.5 million. So that shows the very underratedness that this guy brings to this team. But Carter, what do you think about this deal?
Oh, I think that this is a great deal. Adrian Kempe, I think, is one of my favorite underrated players in the NHL right now. I mean, just looking at the numbers that the guy puts up, he's been very, very good for them there. He was a big piece, in Four Nations for them. He's a consistent goal scorer, man. Like, he's kind of been, he's one of the more underrated players in the league, I feel like. And I think that it's very nice that we're starting to see his name out there a lot more. He's had back-to-back 70-plus point seasons. And he just missed out in the 22-23 campaign to make it 3 straight. But he put up 67 points, and we can all laugh at that because it was 6-7. But he had 40 goals that year too. So very good stuff from Adrian Kempe. I think that he's earned this contract time and time again. So I think that this is going to be a really big signing because I don't think LA was willing to let this guy walk. He's their future, even though he's 29, but still he is their future.
Yeah, I think, again, like, he's been a really big part for their team. And you look at, like, the playoffs, like, this guy was definitely not the issue whatsoever. You look at the last, 4 years against the Oilers. 6 points in 7 games played, 8.6 games played, 5 points in 5, 10 and 6. Like, again, like, this guy has been very primal, very important to this LA team and very valuable. And I feel like overall has been a really good acquisition here since he's been drafted. And I think, again, like, this contract, he was going to get a pay raise, but he could have asked for a lot more, considering how much he's kind of carried this team in playoff runs and years past. So it's overall a really good contract. But you look at the free agency market now, Carter, the free agency market is absolutely cooked. Do you know off the top of your head who the top player is now in the free agent class?
Panarin?
So Panarin, I would say, probably the most top guy. But the guy who is producing right now with the most points is actually Malkin. 23 points.
Right.
In games played so far this year. You also have Nick Schmaltz, Artemi Panarin, John Carlson. After that, it's Ovechkin. He might retire, honestly. It's a really short list of players who are in this free agent market that are left. And a lot of these guys, I think, are going to re-up on their teams. So it could be a pretty ass free agency market here coming up, honestly.
Does Makar become a free agent?
That's the following year.
Right. Okay. Because I'm
And
just
I
looking
think he's
at
an
the
RFA.
I'm looking at the 26th season, and for some reason it says Cale Makar. Weird.
No, does it really?
I'm looking on Sport Track, but this thing could be wrong.
No.
I don't think he's definitely not a free agent because it'd be tough.
2027.
Yeah.
20.
Okay. So this thing just has it wrong. I was really confused by that there.
I mean, next year, you want to look at next year, Cale Makar, Sidney Crosby, Quinn Hughes, Nikita Kucherov, Mark Stone, Nico Hischier, Eric Carlson.
DeBrincat.
Next year. But they'll probably just re-sign again because that's how it's been.
Yeah. Which is kind of nice. I like guys staying with the team, that kind of drafted them, but it does kind of suck for free agency because I feel like hockey has one of the more like underwhelming free agencies, to be honest. Because football, I feel like people move so often. NBA, people move so often, but that's because their contracts are shorter, right? And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that, like, it's good, like, you obviously want guys to play with their certain teams and stuff like that, but, like, you're not getting any movement, and people do follow the league for movement, so that does kind of suck from that perspective. But I think besides that, I mean, it's fine. Like, I think that it's overall good that these players are staying with each other. One guy who's moved away, David Kampf. Obviously, I think we talked about him, maybe not on here, but maybe on the MVP. We talked about how he terminated his contract with the Maple Leafs, just did not want to play there anymore. And he has signed with the Vancouver Canucks 1 year, $1.1 million for an injury-prone team like Vancouver. Getting a guy like Kampf, who I think is a former Canuck, I might be wrong. It's a good acquisition. It feels like he's played for Vancouver, though.
It feels like he has too, but no, he's a Chicago boy.
And then Toronto. Okay, all right. It feels like he was on Vancouver for some strange reason, but I guess not.
He is now.
Yeah, he is now. So there you go. But overall, we'll see what happens there with Kampf. But a 1.1, by 1.1, not a bad deal there. It's good value.
Pretty good first game for him too. You look at his stats. 1 game played this year in the NHL. 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 penalty minutes, and -3.
And I'm assuming they lost that game.
Yeah, because I'm assuming that was probably the Florida game.
Yeah, that was probably the Florida game. So there you go.
Tough game.
I'll see him tonight doing the commentary. So we'll see how that is, and maybe we'll loop around to that next week if that works out or not. Adam Lowry. Your boy, 5x5 with the Winnipeg Jets, needed to talk about this today. Lowry, good leadership captain, who has been a leader for that team for a while. Even though he's like a third-line center, like honestly is still very valuable to that Winnipeg Jets team. If you want to elaborate on that more.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this guy just he embodies everything that the Winnipeg Jets are, and it's very nice to see that he's re-upped and he's going to stay here. He's probably going to end up being a lifelong Jet, which is what I was really hoping for. I mean, this guy's earned the C every year. He sticks up for his teammates. He comes in clutch when you need him. I mean, like he's the ultimate Winnipeg Jet, and he's exactly the type of guy that we need. So I'm so happy that he's re-upped, and like you look at his clutchness. I mean, this guy scored a goal with, I think, a few seconds left in 23-24 against Vegas in that double or triple overtime game where the Jets were down by 3, came back and almost won, but they didn't. And he scored the game winner in Game 7 of the first round to bring us home after the thing, and he outworked whoever was on him down low in the corner to get the puck up to Ehlers. Ehlers shot it. He gets the puck back, sends it back up to Ehlers, and I think we all know the rest. So, I mean, you want to talk about a guy who has laid his body on the line for Winnipeg, has done everything for him. He's a shutdown guy. It would have been very hard for me to have let him go because he deserves to stay. He deserves every ounce of this contract. He's been here from the beginning. And it's awesome. It's awesome.
He's been a really good player. I remember back in 2021 when they played the Oilers. He shut McDavid down because he would always, cover those guys and be that kind of player. And he's a good leader. Again, everybody always expects like, oh, you got to be this really good offensive player. I remember when they named Lowry captain, what was that, like a year or two ago at this point? They were like, oh, it's ridiculous. Like how, it should be Scheifele, it should be Connor. Like, just because, like, you have players who are really good offensively doesn't mean they are the best players. Like,
yeah, I was going to get a Lowry jersey with a C on it before he was even named captain. Because I'm like, it's going to be Lowry. Like, there's no way it's not. And everyone makes fun of the Jets because, you have a third liner as your captain. It's like, no,
they're not the only
our leader as our captain, right?
They're not the only team. Your leader isn't always your best player. Like, that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're here with Winnipeg, I think we should talk about what just dropped a couple of hours ago. And Carter, this might be hard for you to talk about. There were two young players who requested trades, kind of not. Like, they kind of
one did
went around. Yeah, one did, but would only say, like, if this continues. So the Jets gave Brad Lambert, their 30th overall pick back in 2022, permission to speak to other teams for a potential trade. In 10 games played in Lambert's Jets career, has 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points. This year played 4 games, scored his first NHL goal, but I believe was sent back down to Manitoba. And this comes after the last 2 years. That's pretty much been what he's been. He'll more or less play in training camp, maybe start the year with the Jets. He'll play most of the season with Manitoba, come up for a little bit, and then end up going back down. That's what it's been for the last 2 years. And I feel like seeing how, his career is projected and how he's only played 10 NHL games in the last 3 years since he was drafted, I think he wants a change of scenery. I think that's pretty much what this is. Again, I'll let you elaborate more before I go more into it, but I'm not terribly shocked seeing this, to be honest with you. Yeah,
I mean, me either. I think, I really do want him to stay because, I mean, this guy entering his draft year, he was a projected like top 10 pick, top 5 pick even. And then I don't exactly know what happened in his draft year, but he just kept sliding and sliding, just didn't really, perform to the level that he was kind of expected to, that teams were projecting and that everyone else was projecting, right? So
it happens sometimes. It happens.
Yeah. But I mean, these things happen, and I really hope that, things work out.
So you look at the Jets center depth because Lambert is a center. You have Mark Scheifele there at your first C. He's not better than Scheifele. You have what's his called? You have Lowry there at 3C. You have Jonathan Toews. Best case scenario, he's a 4C on that team. Best case scenario, he's the 4th line center on that team. So, and Morgan Barron's right now, there right now with the team. So I don't really see him making that roster. Maybe somewhere else he could be better, but right now I think ideally, I think it makes sense for him to be traded right now at this point.
Yeah, I don't want that. But, if it's what's going to happen, it's what's going to happen. I really don't want it to. I don't want it to come down to that. I mean, like, I just want to know what happened, because this guy in his 20 year put up 55 points in 64 games for the Manitoba Moose. He looked ready to come into the NHL. He ended up coming up for 1 game for the Jets that year. Had 1 assist, and now he's fallen off. It seems like. I haven't really followed the Moose that much, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, again, like, there's a couple of guys who you could see, or a couple of teams that you could see maybe take a chance on him. Guys who are looking for maybe a 2nd or 3rd line center. A team that always strikes out to me when you're thinking of centers is Montreal. Montreal is the biggest one that I look at there when I think about teams that are in need of a center. Because, again, obviously Kirby Dach's injured. Their down the middle depth is not that great overall. To wrap up with the Lambert segment, Carter, I want to show you a photo. And this photo is going to make you very mad at me, but you deserve it. Here is the Jets' first-round picks from 2022. For the audio listeners, he just turned off his camera. Yeah, no, not ideal, not ideal. And I mean, I feel like Lambert is different from McGroarty in a sense that McGroarty just didn't want to be here. I think Lambert would be here if the time was here for him, but it's not. The center depth is not good enough for him, and there's not a place for him on this roster. So I guess it kind of makes sense there with him, but it is a little bit of a cursed image. Sorry, Carter.
Just what happened, man? 55 points, 64 games as a 20-year-old in the AHL, man.
Well, he wasn't getting an opportunity. I mean, like, you look at that. I mean, you signed Jonathan Toews that pretty much told him, like, yeah, no, you're not playing again this year. He doesn't want to be in the American Hockey League anymore. He wants to actually play games.
Yeah, no. Like, I get that, but it's also the fact that he's not really producing that well in the AHL either.
Has he? I mean, he has been getting a little bit worse and worse. I mean, like, maybe that's a factor with how good the team is, and maybe it's just like overall, like maybe there's something else there. But like, I mean, 35 points the following year is still good. But
yeah,
I think we need to realize that this isn't his place. So we'll see what happens there with Lambert. But at least as of right now, he has requested a trade, and we'll see what comes of that later on. Staying around trades, we'll talk about Mintyukov now. So Pavel Mintyukov, 10th overall draft pick by the Anaheim Ducks, said he would like to be traded if he'll keep being healthy scratched. So he was healthy scratched last night against Boston and the other night against Utah. And so far this year, 18 games played, 3 assists. He's not really known as a guy who can come into games and play defensively. He's more known for his offensive side from what I can tell. He's a big hitter. He's only 6'1", but does play a very physical side. And again, you look at, and I feel like, Carter, you brought this up in an episode previously. I know we talked about this at some point. Maybe it was during the offseason, but you talked about, because Mintyukov is a left-handed defenseman, and they were on his left shot side. You got what? Olin Zellweger. You have I know there's somebody else that I'm forgetting that's on that left shot side.
You want me to pull it up?
You have Zellweger, Lacombe. Lacombe is there as well.
Zellweger, Lacombe, Moore. They had that's it.
Yeah. So those are the guys that are over Mintyukov right now, and I totally understand why he's not very happy with the way he's being played. He wants to play hockey games, and it seems like Joel Quenneville doesn't like this guy in his lineup. So realistically, Carter, like, do you see a legitimate return for this guy? Do you see the upside there? What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I think we've seen the upside with him. I think we know what he's about. I mean, like, this guy in his rookie year had 28 points in 63 games as a defenseman, right? The next year, he kind of took a step back, 19 points through 68 games, not amazing. And this year, he's got 3 points through 3 games, but I mean, he's a third pairing guy. You give this guy some ice time. I mean, Mintyukov was looking like one of the next pieces for Anaheim, right? In their young future core. He was looking like he was going to become their number one guy until Jackson Lacombe took over, right? And I think it's unfortunate for him, but I think that the potential is there. We've seen flashes of it with him being their number one guy, and he's been great. So I think that his thing's going to be the same thing as, what oh my gosh, I'm blanking on names again. Lambert needs, right? I think it could just be a change of scenery. Like, we've seen him prove it, so it's just going to come down to that. And I mean, if the Jets needed a left D-man, I'd say go for a 1-for-1 swap.
Well, yeah, that could work. We'll see. I don't think Anaheim needs a center though, so they kind of.
I mean,
they have a lot of depth down the middle. I mean, like, maybe Ryan Strome, maybe Lambert's better than Strome. Strome is a little bit older, but I just don't see that being a number one need.
Oh, no, trust me. I know the Jets don't need a left D-man. Logan Stanley's the truth. I've been saying it from the start. Logan Stanley.
Yeah, exactly. Logan Stanley.
Never had a doubt.
But looking at Anaheim, there's not room for him there. It's kind of the same instance with Winnipeg. There's not room for him there to play. And that's the truth. Again, I feel like you see a lot of teams around the league right now. It doesn't hurt to have a defenseman, especially a guy of Mintyukov's caliber who can move the puck very well. There's some really high-end puck skill there. And I think that, the teams that I think about, again, they're going to be the obvious ones, but they're Toronto. Toronto, their defense is cooked right now. It is absolutely horrendous. And then Edmonton. Edmonton could use the defense too, especially youth. And I feel like Edmonton could not only use Mintyukov, they could use Lambert too, just because they need more young guys there, essentially. So I think Mintyukov, I feel like it's more likely for them to take a chance on Mintyukov because he's more proven in the NHL. Yeah. Lambert also hasn't played that much in the National Hockey League. So we'll see what happens there. I think both of these guys probably do end up getting traded at some point. I feel like it'll be Mintyukov sooner rather than later. But again, he did say that he wants to be traded if this continues. If he starts playing more games, then maybe this goes away and he stops getting scratched every now and then. But it's also a matter of performance too. You got to be better. Only 3 assists in 18 games played. I know he's not a super offensive defenseman, but you need more offensive production there to keep yourself in the lineup to keep it worth it, and better defensive play too. That's the biggest thing. This guy's career high is 28 points in 63 games played. So we'll see what happens here, but I'm thinking both these guys could find their ways on new teams pretty soon here. So we'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. Let's move on from that. We got to talk about the Colorado Avalanche. We haven't talked about the Avalanche here in a while, and there's a couple of things that we need to discuss. So Colorado, we saw them go off to that really hot start to the year, 9-1-2 or something like that. And we thought that maybe it would calm down a little bit, but it hasn't. They're 13-1-5, still only one regulation loss, and that came in October against the Boston Bruins. And since then, they've won 6 straight games. All of their players are playing phenomenal, more specifically McKinnon, Natchez, Makar, etc. Those guys are playing really phenomenal. There's a guy in net who I want to talk about here in a moment, but the Avalanche look like one of the best teams in the league right now. They look absolutely red hot. Carter, what's your takeaway here from Colorado? Nashville, red hot team.
Yeah, everyone knows it. No, I think that they've been really good. I think that their star players are playing like stars. Nathan McKinnon's playing like a star. Marty Natchez playing like a star. Cale Makar, who I already talked about, thinking he was a free agent, but he's not. But if he was, he'd be earning an absolute bag right now, which he's already earned. Even Brent Burns is looking very good. He's got 10 points this season as well. So very good stuff from them there. Surprisingly, though, they only have 3 players above a point per game. But that doesn't matter when Nathan McKinnon is 5 points off of being at 2 points per game. Ridiculous stuff from him this year. He is an absolute maniac.
We talked about him last week, 9 points in 2 games played, right?
Yeah, just ridiculous stuff. I think it got up to 12-3 or something.
Yeah, that's actually crap. The way this guy can put up offense.
Yeah, just ridiculous numbers. And this team is so deep all around, from top to bottom. They have depth, especially on that back end. It's very, very nice. But I know I'm usually the goalie guy, but dude, you seem to want to talk about goalies here. So let's hear it.
Yeah, again, I just want to give these guys their flowers. The 3 of those guys have been great. Lekkonen's been good. Olofsson, 6 goals in 19 games played last year with the Vegas Golden Knights. I can guarantee you had 15. So he's already basically halfway to that point total from last year. So respectable numbers there. I'll go into more guys in a moment, but you got to bring up the goalies. So Mackenzie Blackwood came into this year. He was hurt. He was injured. He didn't play. You look at Scott Wedgwood, who was the backup, who was good last year. I'm not going to say that, he was absolutely terrible last year. But he's come in here for Colorado and has put up some really good numbers. 11-1-2, a 2.17 goals against average, and a .917 save percentage currently. Wedgwood is hot. And I feel like for a guy who prior to this, I think his career high in games played was 32. Yeah, I just confirmed that. It's 32 games played a couple of years ago, or 2 years ago with Dallas. So overall, he's not tending to play a lot of games, more or less. He's already almost up to his total from last year. But so far this year, I think he's really bought that starting role over Mackenzie Blackwood. And I think this probably continues the way it's been. He has been absolutely lights out incredible for the Avalanche. And Blackwood's been good too with the Avs. 3 games played, 2-0-1. Does have some lackluster numbers, but obviously there was some muffins in there and some stats that, allowing 3 goals on 21 shots, 4 goals on 33 shots. Not ideal, but you're still winning the hockey games, so it's fine. But Carter, what's your takeaways on the Avalanche goaltending right now?
I mean, it's been good. It's been very good. I think it's been one of the more, I don't know if you want to call it underrated bright spots here. But I mean, dude, it's been good. It's been good. Their goaltending's exciting. I mean, just some fun stuff, man. Hockey's fun when games are, close, right? I mean, who's getting the start tonight? Do we know?
That's a good question. I can tell you right now. They're playing the Islanders tonight? No, not the Islanders. I don't know. But who's starting is Wedgwood. Wedgwood's starting tonight.
Wedgwood starting? I mean,
Yep.
He's had a tremendous year to start off. Really good stuff. I feel like everyone thought Blackwood was going to take the net. But
he was hurt. He was hurt to start the training camp in the year.
Mm-hmm.
So it put the Avalanche in a rough position. And Wedgwood's he wasn't a bad goalie. It's not like
it and
it's
ran,
not like he was horrible last year. Yeah, he took it and ran. Definitely.
So
it's
good
not
stuff
like he
from
was
him.
A horrible goalie last year, though.
No, he was good. So good on them there. They got a good test tonight against the Rangers. And I mean, bald Artemi Panarin is back, man. I think he's got to stick with being bald.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. That'll be a good
working
game.
out for him.
That'll be a good game tonight for sure.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, for sure.
Do you think that this sustains itself, though, the Avalanche and their current run?
I mean, as much as I want to say no, I mean, they've been so good lately. It's hard to really it's hard to really say no. I don't think it will, but they've beaten some good teams and beaten some good teams bad. That Edmonton game, they beat them by 8. Just beat the wheels off of them. Was not close for a second. Vancouver was a risky one, but then other than that, it's been 3-goal win over Anaheim, 3-goal win over Buffalo. Not exactly comp, but 3-goal win over the Islanders, who have been, on the up and up. So good for them. But I don't know, man. They're beating on some good teams and they're playing very well. They're hot, man. As much as I want to say, I don't think that it'll sustain itself. I think it can, man. Every single game has been close. Every loss has been a one goal loss.
Yeah, exactly.
5 games have gone to OT that they've lost.
Yeah, it's been close, but they're still winning these games. I think you can't be mad with the way they've played. I don't know if a one regulation loss won't last the whole year, obviously, but who knows? I mean, with the pace that they're on, they could become one of the best teams in NHL history if it does sustain itself. But again, pacing, not my favorite thing. Doesn't always last. So, there's that. Okay, so there's one thing that I want to talk about here, and this is going to prop a big discussion. So Bill Simmons, what do we know about Bill Simmons, Carter?
The podcaster?
Yeah, he runs a podcast. Yeah, the Bill Simmons podcast. Probably what I would say one of the biggest shows on Spotify, right? One of the bigger shows on Spotify in terms
Probably one of the biggest sports shows, yeah, maybe.
I would say. So he went on a show this past week and on Tuesday, and he called the Columbus Blue Jackets, quote, the most irrelevant franchise in professional sports. So leading off with that, He said in a thing, they're too bad to make the playoffs, but they're not so bad that they're top news with their total dysfunction. It's a team that's usually in a small market. Bonus points of their location is generic, like Indiana, Golden State, New England. It's a team that makes you say, oh, yeah, they still exist when they're picking 8th in the draft. It's so when talking
That's so
about
funny, first off.
yeah,
That's
it is
hilarious.
Funny. It is funny. When talking about I have a clip here that I want to play. It's a 2-minute long clip. I haven't listened. I have it right here, but I want to ask this question first. When talking about irrelevant sports teams, what comes to mind besides the NHL? Like, it could be like NFL, MLB, NBA.
Like in America?
It could be America. It can be Canada. I mean, the Canadian teams aren't really that irrelevant. But
No. If we're talking like just like North America as a whole, well, yeah. I mean, we could throw Mexico in there too, but I mean, yeah, like they'd probably be up there.
I meant like name me teams that you think are.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I meant.
oh,
for
you want me to name you some teams?
Yeah, name me some teams. Teams that I think of a lot, like the Oakland Athletics. They're pretty irrelevant.
Las Vegas.
Like Las Vegas. Well, yeah, Las Vegas Athletics. Originally Oakland is what I meant to say. Is what I meant. But you get what I mean. Like Miami Marlins. You know it better than me. What NFL teams aren't really that relevant?
I mean,
NFL is difficult.
NFL is difficult because it's so big in like the States, right?
Yeah.
And it's like one of the biggest. If I had to like say one, I mean Cincinnati's up there because they're good right now, but like they're like a small market kind of. It's a big market, Cincinnati, Ohio, but like they're not really like they're not pushed out a lot unless there's drama. The Saints, maybe? No. Panthers? No. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like football is always relevant because there's always some sort of storyline every week, except for in the off season. But
okay, fair. What about basketball? There's got to be a relevant basketball, like maybe not relevant, but like small market basketball teams.
It's a small market. Oh, there's a ton of small markets.
One of them just won a championship.
Indiana's a small market.
Indiana, yeah,
they're probably up there.
What Oklahoma City? They just won a championship.
Yeah, they just won a championship.
They're probably
Sacramento,
bigger.
maybe.
Sacramento, yeah, no, like Sacramento's
Memphis.
Like Memphis. Oh my God,
Utah, the Jazz are one usually that don't get talked about a lot.
Yeah, but when talking about irrelevant teams, like it's a harsh reality. I don't know if they're the most irrelevant. Mm-hmm. He's kind of right. He's kind of right when he brings that up. I want to play the clip because we need to listen to this. It's like a clip from his show. So I actually didn't pre-watch this clip, so we're going to raw react to it together. But let's go here. This is from the Simmons podcast on Tuesday.
Years too. Columbus's case is incredible. So they come in the league in 2000. They haven't made round 2 of the playoffs ever. They haven't made the playoffs since 2020.
Yeah.
They've missed the playoffs 20 of 25 times. The best Blue Jacket ever is Rick Nash. They've had 7 team captains. Lyle Odeline, Ray Whitney, Luke Richardson, Adam Foote, Rick Nash, Nick Foligno, and Boone Jenner.
Foligno.
I've never heard a single conversation about the Blue Jackets. Now, granted, I don't have a ton of hockey fans in my life, but I have never heard a single combo about them. I'm not sure who the rival is. I looked this up on Google, and Google said their rival, the Google AI, whatever that thing is, called their biggest rival, the Pittsburgh Penguins. And then I asked Google what the Pittsburgh Penguins' biggest rival was, and they suggested Philly, Washington, the Rangers, and the Devils. So Columbus's biggest rival isn't even one of that team's 4 biggest rivals. Their saddest moment was Johnny Gaudreau dying recently. That was really sad. Their weirdest moment was a backup goalie a few years ago died in an awful fireworks accident, which I didn't know about, but it's a terrible story. their worst draft pick in 2006, they took Gilbert Brule over Andrzej Kopitar, who became probably the greatest player in the history of the Kings other than Gretzky. And apparently the Blue Jacket, I did a lot of research on this one. Apparently the Blue Jacket fans still upset about that pick. Most exciting controversy was they hired Mike Babcock, who is already kind of not in disgrace, but controversial. And then they had to fire him before his first season because of some weird scandal where he asked players to share personal photos with them and then use the photos in some sort of something. And the players got upset about it and they just fired him. That was weird. And then their greatest win, they swept the 2019 Panthers in round 1.
Panthers?
It was the only time they've been into round 2.
Wow.
It has to be the Columbus Blue Jackets. I can't believe how boring all of that is. Unbelievable. Anyway, that's your answer.
I don't even want to read the comments. What do you think when you see that as a hockey fan?
I mean, he's kind of not really wrong in a sense.
No, he's not, and that's the sad. I mean, like
that's the thing is like Columbus
about it, like glossing over those 2 deaths the way he did. But I mean, like, yeah. But 20 out of 25 years, they've only made it 5 years out of those 20 years. Jesus.
Like, you could say that about a lot of new franchises too, though. Like, I get it's been like 25, 26 years. So it's been a while, and some teams have had more success in a shorter amount of time, right? But
yeah,
I mean, they came in like a weird time in the NHL.
One of the most irrelevant eras, probably.
Yeah, like they came in at a rough time. Game wasn't really growing as much, right? Like they were in the weird post-Gretzky, pre-Crosby, Ovechkin era, right? And now it seems like, at least the eras are kind of flowing together in a sense. Whereas before it was kind of like Gretzky, and then you just had like Lemieux, and then it went to Crosby. But like there's barely any overlap between, Lemieux and Crosby, right? But like you look at it now and like you have Crosby and like McDavid's gotten 10 years with Crosby, right? And Bedard and Celebrini, they're both getting probably 4, maybe 5 years with Crosby. Like,
I remember when that 2023 draft was going down. Could you imagine if Columbus got Bedard? That'd be like their franchise guy. That would change everything.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Everything would be changed. Like, we wouldn't look at I mean, honestly, like, they probably would still be overall pretty irrelevant, but we wouldn't be looking at them in that light moving forward. The thing is, though, is like they've never had that sustained success. They've never had that sustained success. Again, he said it. 20 out of 25 times. They only made the second round once. And their best moment was sweeping Tampa Bay in round 1. That was their best.
Florida.
Yeah, Florida. You're right. Florida. They swept Florida. Man, I can't believe Florida made the playoffs that year.
Crazy.
But I'm going to say this. Like, before the Florida Panthers won these back-to-back championships, they were irrelevant for like a good decade, 15 years. Like, I mean, but because they never had that success prior. So it's not just, Columbus that's in that mix. There's a couple of NHL teams that are like that. But at least, you look at teams like, I'm trying to think, like Arizona was probably I would even say Arizona is probably a little bit more irrelevant than Columbus when they were in the NHL. Minnesota, I think, is definitely not as relevant. They're just like not as much success. I mean, yeah, like you said it too, like their rivals, like their biggest rival, I would say, is probably Pittsburgh or maybe Detroit. But like even then, like those rivalries like aren't really that crazy because Columbus has barely made the playoffs or done anything to really ignite rivalries or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So it's a harsh reality. And again, like I would love to come on here and be like, no, Columbus is not, because I love that team. They've been through so much and they're getting better. Mm-hmm. But the truth is, like, he's really not that wrong. I mean, like, do you think of any team in all of sports, in the 4 major sports, that comes close to the Blue Jackets right now? Any
White
team.
Sox?
White Sox, maybe, but haven't they won a championship?
Anything recent?
Recent, maybe that's true.
Recency, it'd probably be pretty close because they haven't really been good for a while. But I mean, like,
I guess so.
yeah, but they have the past success, right? So they kind of get a pass. But no, honestly, he's not wrong.
They've also been around for like 100 years. Like I don't know the exact timeline, but they've been around way longer than Columbus has. But it's a harsh reality, but it's really unfortunate because like he's right, and it sucks for me to say, but it is the truth. So I mean, again, like I like Columbus. I'm not trying to like throw more hate or more shade down their throats, but it's unfortunate, but it is the truth. And hey, I mean, I hope that does change because I actually really do like Columbus, and I think that they're overall I think they're going to be a good team down the road in the future. So I think there's some credit there that needs to be had, but yeah, it does suck, but it's the truth. Okay, 3 stars of the week of this past week. Again, you guys know we started this a couple of weeks ago where we look at around the NHL. We pick our 3 stars of the episode. So I'm going to go first this time. I let you guys go first every single time. So my 3 stars of the week. Number 3, and I'm actually going to go a little bit off the board with this one. He's not the greatest player in the world. He has 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points, and 3 games played in this past week. That's Elias Pettersson. 6 points in 3 games played this past week. I think he's been worthy enough to get him into that 3-star range there, and I think that overall he's been solid for the Canucks, and I think he's deserving of being in there. Number 2 for me is going to be Lucas Raymond. 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points in 3 games played for Detroit. He's been phenomenal for that team. And then number 1, Minnesota, Jesper Wallstedt. 2-0, was on a little bit of a shutout streak, has a .959 save percentage over these last 2 games. He's been so much fun to watch. I've been looking at the schedule, and I want to do a commentary stream with Wallstedt, and he's been that good. So my 3 stars, again, Pettersson, Raymond, and Wallstedt. What do you got, Carter?
Very good, very good. My number 3, I'm going to go with Lucas Raymond. 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points. You already touched base on it for Detroit over the last 4 games. Number 2, I'm going to go with a Vancouver boy, but not Elias Pettersson. I'm going to go with Quinn Hughes. He only played in 2 games, but put up 7 assists. Very impressive stuff. I think that probably all came from, if I had to guess, I'd say it all came from Florida. Yeah, he had 3 assists against Florida, 4 assists against Tampa.
Yep.
Both in just crazy games. So good stuff there from Quinn. And then number 1, I'm going to go with a man who I am so weirded out by what's going to happen with him in his future. And that is Jason Robertson. 7 goals, 1 assist over his last 3 games. Very impressive stuff from him there. So there's a lot of stuff surrounding him. So we're going to see what happens with him, come the offseason. But I mean, very, very impressive numbers there from Robertson, especially 7 goals. That's impressive.
There you go. Yeah, 3 stars of the week. All right, wrapping up the show then. Another quick little less than an hour long episode. We got our power rankings here today. The power rankings are based off of the best teams in the league this past week. Carter, I will let you go first. Who is the best team in the NHL right now, according to you?
Okay, hold on. You're going to give me some time. I got to pull up the standings. I'll let you go first.
I feel like it should be very obvious who the best team in the league right now is. But
yeah, well, we do it over the last week, so you got to let me. Or last 2 weeks. Are we doing it 2 weeks or?
Last week. We recorded last week.
Right. Sorry.
Everything's been.
Sorry, my mind's still in the past here, guys. My fault. I will go Minnesota.
Minnesota, really a number 1.
Hold on. You gotta let me think here.
3 straight wins, 7-2-1 in their last 10. They have bounced back. They're back to that top spot.
You know what? I'm gonna go Detroit.
Detroit, 2 wins in a row.
I like their goal differential. +5 goal differential, 16 goals in their last 4 games, 3 wins, 0 regulation losses, 1 overtime loss. They got to get their goaltending under control because this last week was very good for them as far as a goaltending. or as far as scoring is concerned. So
it's been real different week to week with them.
Yeah,
So.
they've been last. Oh my gosh! I just looked at this. The week before, shutout against Vegas, 1 goal against the Rangers, 1 goal against Chicago, and then now they're just like, oh yeah, we don't remember how to score. 6 against Anaheim, 4 against Buffalo, 2 against New York, and 4 against the Kraken.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been a really different week. Number 2, I thought you would put this team at number 1. But the Colorado Avalanche, 6 wins in a row, 8-0-2 in their last 10. They're the best team in the NHL. They should be the best team in the rankings, but I'm fine with number 2.
Well, we based it off the last week, and Detroit's up very high.
Fair enough, but my girlfriend will be very happy with that ranking. Number 3, Carter?
Number 3, I'm going to go with the Dallas Stars at number 3 here. 14 goals for 4 goals against over the last 3 games. Very impressive numbers from them there. A plus 10 goal differential, the best over the last week, I believe, because I feel like if any team had better than that, that's weird. Okay, they didn't. But just very impressive stuff. I already touched base on Jason Robertson, and he had 7 goals over the last week. So just impressive stuff from him there. And I mean, just impressive stuff from Dallas all the way around. And they take on Vancouver tonight. So, of course, as soon as I say that, I would put a lot of money on them losing.
Number 4, I'm sticking with Anaheim. 2 wins in a row. They beat Boston and they beat Utah. They came back to win against Utah. That was a very good game. Still 27 points in 20 games played. 4th in the league. Number 4 seems fair to me. Number 5?
Yeah, number 5, I am going to go with the New York Islanders. 3 wins over the last 4 games for them. Do not have a positive goal differential, which is not very good when you have 3 wins and only 1 loss over the last week. But, I mean, still, with looking at where they were kind of projected this year, I think that, you know, good stuff from the Islanders there. And shout out Matthew Schaefer in the Olympic testing pool now. So good things for him. I think there's a chance we see him.
Yeah, that could be fun. I mean, you look at the guys who are on there, that could be over him. We'll see what happens with that.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, for the second straight week, the Chicago Blackhawks are in our top 10 power rankings. They have been very, very good. Bedard's been incredible. Overall, 10-5-4, 2 wins in a row. They've been awesome. So you got to give Chicago a lot of credit. They've been a very fun team to watch. So they get in there at number 6. Number 7.
Mm-hmm. Very fair. Number 7, I'm going to go back to Minnesota here. Undefeated in the last week, a +4 goal differential. I think that they've been very, very solid as of late. Don't really need to say much, but just impressive stuff from them there. And especially you said Wallsted's been a brick wall.
Number 8, Thinking. I'll go Carolina. Carolina, still good. 6-2-2 in their last 10. Second in the NHL. They are coming off of a loss against the Minnesota Wild, which makes sense why they're lower than him. But before that, they beat Boston. They lost the Oilers in overtime, but they're still winning hockey games. They're still getting the points that are needed, so they'll be at number 8.
Mm-hmm, that's fair. I will be at Jets versus Hurricanes tomorrow. Or, well, I guess today when you're hearing this, Nick Ehlers' return game. So I will be there for that. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I don't know if people are going to boo or if they're going to cheer. So I'm ready for whatever they do.
They should cheer.
Yeah, but at the same time, he left. He left us.
Yeah.
Trade is different. We trade him. It's like, okay, yeah, you cheer. He leaves in free agency after we wanted to keep him. I don't know if that's going to go over too well in Winnipeg.
We'll see.
He knows not to walk downtown alone. So I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be fine going through Winnipeg. That's not.
Oh yeah, no, we don't hold grudges. Just ask Record McCrory. Anyways, number 9. Have you said Vegas yet?
Nope.
Okay, I will take Vegas here. +2 goal differential over the last week. No regulation losses either. 2 wins, 2 overtime losses. Very good stuff from them recently. Their PK has been pretty solid as of late. How's their power play? Their power play has been absolutely clicking. Oh my goodness, 35%. So just impressive numbers there. What's this adjusted power play metric? Sorry, I'm learning all these new different metrics, and it's pretty cool. Whoa, I'm gonna have to learn this.
All right,
and then
number
make my
10,
rankings
I'll
so
wrap
much
up
better.
the rankings here. I'll wrap up the rankings here. I'll go your Jets at number 10. 2 wins in a row,
Yes.
6-4 in their last 10. 12-7, respectable numbers. So they come in there in the last spot for this week's power rankings. There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
They're number
will do
one
it.
in power play percentage, number one in power play percentage, and in adjusted power play percentage, whatever that means, which I will find out.
Wow. We should have put them one. That being said, though, folks, that is it for this episode of the NordCast. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like down below and subscribe if you are new. But regardless, that is it for us. We'll see you guys next week, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening to yet again another episode of the NordCast. If you enjoyed, please subscribe down below or follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you want to follow us on TikTok, we are at NordCast. If you want to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, follow at NordCast_. That'll do it for this episode. I'm Nordic. Thanks for listening from all the crew, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.